This is not a drill! Deebo Samuel is officially a Washington Commander. After 6 seasons with the 49ers, the team has decided to move on and send him to the Washington Commanders in a trade that has shocked us all. Fans can't help but wonder the reason behind this move. Was it football, or was the money and cap space the reason for this trade? Why did the 49ers trade one of their best pieces, and what does this move mean for both teams? Let's break it down. So why did the 49ers trade Deebo? Back in 2022, Deebo Samuel signed a 3-year, $71.55 million contract extension with the 49ers. To make things even more complicated, the deal also included $58.1 million in guaranteed money. Now, you may be thinking, why did they include such a big contract? You can't blame the 49ers because the contract made sense at the time. Deebo was one of the most versatile players of the 49ers who was capable of changing a game in an instant. So it only made sense to do everything to keep him on the team. However, things started getting messy as soon as the 49ers started to restructure contracts to make the most of the cap limit. They kept pushing money into the future to make more room within the cap limit and get short-term cap relief. The end result was that the team ended up with a huge dead cap hit that they have to deal with now that they've decided to move on. So why are the 49ers doing this? The simple answer is financial flexibility. The team already has some big contracts like those of Nick Bosa, Brandon Aiyuk, and Brock Purdy that are costing them a lot. So by moving Deebo, the San Francisco 49ers can clear these salaries by taking the cap hit all at once. It is also believed that Brock Purdy will be resigning the contract with new terms. This was potentially another reason why the team went for a financial reset. This way, they could keep their young quarterback and still keep other key players as well. So we know why the 49ers are trading off Deebo Samuel, but it sure comes at a huge cost. Trading Deebo in 2025 means the 49ers will end up with a $31 million dead cap, making it one of the greatest dead cap hits for a single player in recent years. It is estimated that they will lose $15.2 million in cap space this year, but they are going to save $17.55 million in salary for the 2025 season, making it only a short-term loss. And a $31 million dead cap hit is indeed brutal, but let's be real for a second. It's the price the San Francisco 49ers have to pay after kicking the can down the road with restructures. Now, you'd expect that by trading a player like Deebo, the 49ers are getting the better end of the deal, maybe a first or second round pick. But, well, things didn't exactly work out that way. Instead, the 49ers received just a 2025 fifth round pick. Yeah, you heard that right, just a fifth round pick. Imagine trading a receiver and runner like Deebo and getting a fifth round pick instead. So why did the 49ers go through the deal? Well, you see, in short, the 49ers really didn't have a choice. Deebo Samuel's contract was a really big financial commitment. And unfortunately, the 49ers found themselves in a position where they had to create cap space for other moves or future contracts, leaving them with no choice. This trade wasn't just about the player. The salary attached to him was a bigger problem for the 49ers. The best way to explain it is that the 49ers had to pay the Washington Commanders to take on Deebo's hefty contract. This isn't something that hasn't been done before. We've seen this in big NBA trades, where teams sometimes trade valuable players just to get the load off bad contracts, or sometimes to create extra cap space for future moves. While Deebo is still one of the most talented players in the league, the 49ers had to come to terms with the hard truth that they wouldn't get full value for him in terms of draft picks. The trade was more about managing their salary cap situation than acquiring future assets. The Commanders are now going to have Deebo in their offense, which means they also take on the burden of this contract. Will it pay off for them? Only time will tell. It seems like the San Francisco 49ers made the right decision by trading off the hefty contract to the Commanders. But how exactly did the Washington Commanders afford this trade? Perhaps the biggest advantage that the Washington Commanders had, which allowed them to afford this trade, was having a cheap quarterback. You see, the Washington Commanders quarterback, Jayden Daniels, is still on his rookie deal, which gives Washington a significant financial edge. Rookie quarterbacks, especially those drafted in the later rounds, often come with much smaller salaries compared to those who've been playing for years. This frees up a lot of cap space for the team. In Daniels' case, the Commanders are paying him a fraction of what most starting quarterbacks in the league make, which means that the Washington Commanders can make moves like this one. The team had over $50 million in cap space available when they were heading into the trade. And that is more than enough to cover Deebo Samuel's $17.55 million salary, which seemed hefty for the 49ers. This financial flexibility is exactly what allows the Commanders to pull off a trade for a star player without having to sacrifice other contracts or parts of their team. Taking on Deebo Samuel doesn't exactly put the Commanders in a tough financial spot because, you see, they don't have the burden of a high-paying quarterback on their books. In fact, having a quarterback on a rookie deal is a strategic advantage that many teams in the NFL use for their benefit. By investing in a young QB early in their career, teams can use the extra cap space to build an extensive roster that adds top-tier talent in other positions. For the Commanders, this trade means having Daniels at the center and building around him. This move allows them to improve their offense by adding one of the best offense players in the league. Now that Deebo Samuel is officially a Washington Commander, let's look at the new roster and what it means for the team. With Daniels as the rookie quarterback under center, Washington now consists of a dangerous receiving trio made up of Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, and Deebo Samuel. Each player brings in a crucial piece that helps complete the team. Terry brings speed and reliability, Jahan has shown promise as a dynamic playmaker, and now the addition of Deebo adds another layer to the offense, giving Washington a versatile weapon with the ability to line up as a receiver and a running back. The addition of Deebo Samuel can work wonders for the Commanders because he is more than just a wide receiver. He's a hybrid playmaker who brings unique qualities to Washington's offense. He can turn the game in an instant thanks to his exceptional catches, tackles, and handoffs, combined with runbacks that confuses the defenses. This versatility allows the Commanders to get creative with how they use him, whether it's in the passing game or the running game. His presence not only strengthens Washington's receiving core, but also their offense. Trading Deebo Samuel was a very big move for the San Francisco 49ers, and this has opened up the opportunity to create some major roster changes. While this move may have caused temporary challenges, it also opens avenues for strategic adjustments as the team approaches the 2025 NFL season. This trade has some significant financial ramifications. Even though they got the 5th-round pick, the 49ers still face a $31 million dead cap hit, and that is because of short-term cap relief adjustments that hadn't counted against the team's salary cap. This reduces their available cap space from $50.2 million to $34 million. This means the 49ers have to majorly restructure the contracts of their players and also reconsider decisions to maintain their competitive edge. It will be very important for them to reach that perfect balance to maintain their key players and also make cap space. $34 million may seem significantly less than the previous $50.2 million, but it is still a substantial amount, and the team can maximize it by planning carefully. The team's field play is also expected to change with Deebo's departure. Brandon Aiyuk is expected to step into the wide receiver's role, bringing his reliability and playmaking abilities to the forefront. Jauan Jennings may also assume a more prominent position. Kyle Shanahan's offense has been praised for a while now. However, Deebo Samuel has been a key player in making this offense so difficult to defend. Deebo's unique ability to line up both as a wide receiver and a running back allowed Shanahan to get creative with his offense, which confuses the defense. Without Samuel, Shanahan loses his team player who had the ability to line up anywhere, anytime to keep defenses guessing. This may not only impact his play, but also put extra pressure on him. Moreover, the 49ers' aggressive spending in previous seasons has earned them the reputation of one of the highest spenders in the league. However, this approach has led to financial constraints, affecting roster-building flexibility. Keeping in mind all of this, General Manager John Lynch has indicated a shift towards a more cautious financial strategy to balance short-term competitiveness with long-term sustainability. In an interview, John Lynch said, "At some point, you have to reset a little bit or at least recalibrate. This clearly indicates that the team is looking forward to a shift in their financial strategy." The team seems to be a win-win situation for both teams. The 49ers get to make better financial choices, whereas the Washington Commanders get to sign up one of the best NFL players. So who's the real winner here? Let's take a look. If we talk about the short term, it seems like the 49ers got the bad end of the deal. The trade results in a massive dead cap hit of $31 million, which limits their financial flexibility in the immediate future. They lose a key player in Deebo, and while they still have Brandon Aiyuk, George Kittle, and Christian McCaffrey, the absence of Deebo will affect the field play. On the other hand, the Washington Commanders seem like the real winners in the short term. They added a star player, Deebo Samuel, to their roster without giving up much. It only cost them a 2025 5th-round pick, which in my opinion is a relatively low price for a playmaker of Deebo's caliber. The move strengthens their offense and also gives their rookie quarterback, Jayden Daniels, additional backup. The Commanders are in a position to improve quickly, and adding Deebo could make them more competitive right away. But let's talk about the long-term implications. For the San Francisco 49ers, the long-term picture looks brighter. By moving Deebo's contract, the 49ers free up future cap space for some key players like Aiyuk or strengthen other areas of the roster, such as their defense. And if we talk about Deebo, for him, this trade provides a new chapter in his career. Leaving the 49ers means stepping away from the system that helped make him one of the most crucial players in the league. Deebo has thrived in a system under head coach Kyle Shanahan, who helped maximize his skills as both a receiver and a running back. The big question now is, can he produce at the same level in Washington's offense? Under new coaching and with different personnel around him, will he still be able to give his best, or perhaps perform even better? He has the talent, but much of his success in San Francisco came from the scheme. In Washington, he'll have an opportunity to prove he can be just as effective without the same support structure. Needless to say, he has the skill set, and it seems like both teams may benefit from this trade, but it's still too early to say for sure who really wins this trade. The Commanders have secured a playmaker who could instantly elevate their offense. The 49ers, while taking a short-term financial hit, are setting themselves up for long-term success with greater cap flexibility. That's it for today's video. Let us know what you think about the trade. Did the 49ers make the right decision by trading Deebo Samuel, or was that overkill? Also, make sure to like the video and hit that subscribe button if you want to see more videos about NFL players. See you in the next one. Peace out.